after watching these counseling videos. They are similar to what I expected a counseling session to be like. I have participated in counseling sessions as a parent, as a foster parent, and as a client and also a teacher. These were similar in a lot of ways to what I had experienced as far as the conversations and the reflecting back. The conversation seemed to move a lot faster than conversations that I've experienced where there are two adults. When working with children and being a part of sessions with children, they did look a lot different because the kids were engaging in a game with the counselor or were playing with toys while the counselor was talking to them. When I was reviewing these videos to see kind of what skills the counselors were using, I noticed that they both used clinical empathy, where they reflected the content and the feelings that the client was saying, added some meaning and reframing when they were saying it back to them, and then were waiting for the client to confirm that what they said was accurate. They both used the skill of immediacy. They both noticed the body language of their client and said, hey, I noticed this is what you did. Tell me what you were feeling in that moment. In the second counseling session, the counselor was using just a lot of goal setting with the client and was reminding the client of those goals, was using the influencing by saying, try these two things for next time, using that influencing skill, and also used challenging to draw out the discrepancy between the client's goal and thought about what they wanted to do and the behavior that they were continuing to do. I think that the theories that the counselors were using were possibly the first counselor was operating with a person-centered theory, where they're giving that unconditional positive regard, the genuineness, the empathy, and really spending the majority of the time reflecting back to the client what they were saying, what they were feeling, and their story so that the client could become self-aware. And then I think that the second counselor was using the Adlerian theory, where they're focusing on the goal-oriented process and addressing how the client was influenced by the social world. And that also because the relationship seemed very collaborative in setting the goals and in what the counselor was encouraging the client to do, which was encouraging them to recognize and understand maybe some misbeliefs that they had about themselves or the world. Step back and I look at those two counseling sessions, I would choose to go to the second counselor. He seemed a little bit more relaxed than the first counselor, which would put me more at ease. The first counselor used a lot of nonverbals, which would actually make me feel a little self-conscious. After watching these videos, I was left kind of wondering, how did the Adlerian theory and the person-centered theory influence how they built those relationships with their client? And how does the theory that you're using direct the flow of conversation that you have with your client?